What's going on? This is Sean coming back at you. As promised, we're talking about an altcoin gem that could be making an extra 10, 20, 50, 100x from where it's at today. You don't want to miss this video. Make sure you watch this one to the end and pay attention. So this isn't the coin here, but we're just showing you history. You got to look at history, and it doesn't always repeat, but it often rhymes. So what coin is this? This is Telcoin. Telcoin last cycle made crazy gains. So how much gains? If you weren't around, this coin went up from the swing low to the swing high. It went up over 100,000% to the upside. So how much is that? That's over 100x. So if you put $1, it turned into 100. So this is a huge appreciation, a huge opportunity. Once again, this isn't the coin we're talking about, but look at this pattern here. You have this pattern. What is this pattern called here? Have you ever seen this pattern? This pattern is the Adam and Eve pattern. There's actually a technical pattern for this. It comes up to the neckline, Eve, breakout, backtest, blast off. This is textbook Adam and Eve pattern. Telcoin, look at here, boom, the red line, backtest, blast off. This topped out around 5-6 cents. The low was 0.00006 cents. So you see this playing out here. What coin are we looking at? We're looking at VELO. VELO looks almost identical. And let's draw this out so we can make it all make sense. So look here, we have the Adam pattern, the Eve rounding bottom, and we're getting this breakout here from this horizontal resistance that acted as resistance back here in February 23. And right now we're getting this bullish engulfing candle. Looking at Telcoin, look at the same bullish engulfing green candle. Could we get a back test of this and a continuation? Most definitely. So we're going to compare both of these charts here. So look at this wedge that it's in. How many days was it before the breakout? Let's get our date range from where these two lines would intersect, which would be down here. Pull this out to the breakout. That's about 500 days before the breakout from the apex. So let's look at it here, 600 days. So it's relatively the same, not exactly one-to-one, but you get what we're saying. It can break out this early. And we're looking at both of these charts on the weekly. I want you to pay attention to that. So we showed you the days as far as this rising wedge, the higher highs. We showed you the Adam and Eve pattern, the comparisons between Telcoin and VELO, but then also let's look at the RSI. So when this bullish engulfing breakout happened, the RSI was over the 70 range and peaked up to about 84 before a pullback. And as you see, we stayed in this overbought territory for quite some time. Looking at VELO, what do we see? We see that this broke out into the overbought range, and you see we're at 84, around the same level as Telcoin when we first broke out of this pattern. A Telcoin actually went up to 82 and then it stayed up in the 80s and 90s for quite some time. And this was over like a 3 or 4 month window. So we're seeing a lot of similarities from this chart from VELO compared to Telcoin. So let's see here. Let's look at the MACD. So the MACD was definitely in overbought territory. It was about to the 0.2 level. But you see, once it had this pullback, remember, this rounding bottom is the Eve portion of the pattern. So once we had this pullback, we seen this bullish cross from the blue line to the red line below in this LMACD. And that's when we sort of had that first spring to the upside. And then we stayed overbought for some time up to the 0.5 level. So let's look at VELO. Where are we at right now? So this pullback, we had really a micro cross. And then once this got heavily above it, you see that we are up to this 0.28 range on this breakout. So let's look at this level on this breakout. We were up to the 0.26, 0.27 range. So that's still in the realm of possibility. So from this breakout, how high did we see coin go? Went up another 12,000% move to the upside. So will VELO do something like that? Let's see, from this breakout, 12,000% would take VELO up to $2.50. So over $2. Is that in the realm of possibility? That'd be really up to previous highs. Telcoin, as you see, if we look back in the charts, Telcoin first printed a chart pattern here back in 2018, so it definitely put in a new all-time high, as you see right here, this wicked up. But from this breakout to here, as far as a time frame from this breakout to the peak, you see that really took about 126 days. So you're looking at roughly over the next 4 months. So we had to pay close attention to this over the next coming months. So over the next 4 months, what are we looking at? 126 days. That'd be, towards the end of summer, end of August. So could we see astronomical gains to the upside? The last indicator we're going to take a look at is this 20 moving average. Remember, this is on the weekly, so the 200 hasn't printed yet. So let's get rid of this and clean this up. So on this breakout, you see that, VELO actually bounced off of this 20 moving average and then is bouncing up. So how does 20 moving average act over the next coming months for Telcoin? And as you see, once we got back above it, it just sort of stayed above it and kept printing to the upside. So we see a lot of similarities from Telcoin to VELO. So VELO could be a huge opportunity. Yes, we are in overbought territories, but this isn't a short-term play. This could be a play over the next few months to up to the next 12 months. So you got to pay close attention to this. So as you see right here from this meltdown, look how this melted down very quickly. This didn't take too long to go from these high ranges to this support. That took about a year's time to play out. 357 days is about a year for this meltdown. So when you see this, when you look back in the charts and look at confluence, there wasn't too much support here. It was just all resistance and price action to the downside. So when we look back into the left, what the price action could tend to do is mirror. So how this melted down, once we get through this resistance level here, we could have a back test and then this could have a melt up. So that's how these could mirror. No guarantees, you're not taking this to the bank. It's all dependent on Bitcoin and what the overall crypto market capitalization is doing. But the total 3 is looking bullish. The Bitcoin dominance is looking bearish, which is good for coins like this. And in the cycle, the halving just passed. So you know what the next 6 to 12 months look like typically for coins like this. So this could be a huge opportunity for the months to come. So if we zoom into this price action, we have in this breakout currently on this weekly candle. So if we have this back test here, if this back test happens, this might be the most optimal time to get back in. You're looking at the 0.015 range. And if this happens and we see a huge appreciation to the upside as far as going back up towards previous all-time highs, what's that percent gain? Getting back up to new all-time highs, you're looking at a 10,000% gain, which is 100x. $1 turns into 100. Also mirroring and mimicking what Telcoin did. So we showed you a coin that we went off of from last cycle that pulled over 100x. This one actually did at the peak over 12,000%, so 120x. And Telcoin was also low in the overall crypto market capitalization, the same way VELO is. So could this coin do 100x? That's definitely in the realm of possibility if this market continues to the upside. No black swan events. Look, we're about to break 2 cents. So this is the coin that we are telling you. So looking at the overall market cap for VELO, what's realistic? So right now it's coming in at number 347 per coin market cap at $147 million. So how can we look at this? We see a 10x would take this up to a $1.47 billion market capitalization. And this will move this up to about 19 cents. That's a 10x. So $1.47 billion. You have to look at the overall crypto market capitalization and see what these market caps are. So at the current time of this recording, 1.47 would be around numbers 65 and 64 around Pendle and Gala. So could this be in the realm of possibility? Yes, definitely a 10x, because you want to pay attention to all these top 100 currently are going to increase as this bull market continues. So that's a 10x. So if you add a 5x to a 10x, you'd be looking at roughly a 50x. That would be around $1. So that's roughly 1.47 times 5. That's a $7.3 billion market capitalization. So now you're getting higher up on this chart, and that would put you between 17 and 16. So you're looking at between Polygon and Chainlink. So that's a 50x for VELO currently. So remember, as this market continues to pump to the upside, all the rest of these altcoins are going to increase in market capitalization. So really these could add zeros to them. This could be 70 billion in the top 20. So really 7.35 might be still around 50 to 100 on the overall market capitalization. So is a 50x definitely in the realm possibility? We would say so. That's not too far-fetched. So that's 50x. So 50x from where we are right now, you're at roughly 2 cents. That's right at $1. So could we reach $1? That's definitely in the realm of possibility. If this market continues to uptrend, no black swan events, the VELO team stays intact, which it seems their team is definitely a good team. So that's a 50x. I'll take you up to $1. Now 100x takes you up to $2. Current time it's recording, we just briefly broke that 2 cent range. Look, it's at 0.0199. There's a lot of bullish momentum to the upside on this, but basically that 100x will take you up to $2. Could we see that? So once again, you gotta do a 10x, which takes this up to 1.47 billion. For a 100x, you'd be looking at take this up to a $14.7 billion market capitalization. So 14.7, where this would be at, would be in the top 10, almost the top 10 between AVAX and Shiba Inu. So could this definitely happen? Like Shiba Inu is going to increase, AVAX. Remember, all these coins are going to increase. So this might be 30 billion for Kronos at number 25. Like, you know, as money continues to pour into here, all these alts are going to increase. So can VELO hit 100x from where it is right now? Hit that $2? It's not out the realm of possibility. So keep all this in mind. This is a sleeping giant and an opportunity. For instance, if that 100x is hit and you invest $1,000 into the market, do some quick math. $1,000 turn into $100,000. So this could be life-changing for anybody that takes a look at this. Could you get a 10, 20, up to 50x plus on this? Most definitely. You don't want to wait too long. But once again, the next thing to pay attention to is if you see this pullback to retest this support. Because if you zoom out on the charts, you see that this acted as resistance right here. And then once we fell through this, we came back up and retested it here and got rejected. So this level is a level to pay attention to. Once you break back up through it, we could get that back test, continuation to the upside. So VELO, VELO is the coin that you definitely want to pay attention to. And with that, Patreon family, we appreciate your support. This is not financial advice. This is what the Bitcoin bros are looking at and what we put a little bit of money into. So don't be afraid. If you got a little bit of extra cash, you want to diversify something, 50x doesn't sound too bad. $1 turns to 50. If you got an extra $1,000 laying around, why not look at this play? And with that, we'll see you in the next one.